Let's talk a bit about the dreaded second week of NoFap. Yes, the second week is no joke, and for a lot of guys, the second week can actually be the toughest period of the whole reboot.
Scandinavian Bob here, hi. Yeah, real voice and person behind this video, who has been involved in the porn addiction community for 13 years now. So if you're getting tired of all these fake AI videos out there, consider subscribing.
Now, before I start talking about why that is, I want to remind everyone of the fact that even if it seems tough, you can definitely overcome this. So don't get discouraged by the seemingly nasty obstacles in your path. Also, keep in mind that not everyone will experience withdrawals or really nasty periods when they quit, but many do. And did you know that the sensitized pathways in your brain can actually grow stronger somewhere around the second and third week in? Yes, and as you remember from my older videos, a sensitized pathway is basically a super memory of pleasure. And they are what gives you these powerful cravings that so often make you relapse. And this is why some guys experience things like a rapid heartbeat and even tremors when presented with a trigger in the second week. The addiction has literally hijacked the part of the brain that thinks you need it for survival. And so of course your stress center is going to be involved if a part of your brain thinks your whole life is on the line. No doubt. Now, this doesn't mean you will have cravings all the time here, but if you get slapped with a trigger in your second week, for some guys the body may very well respond even more strongly than it did in the first week. Now, luckily the sensitized pathways do become weaker. It takes a few weeks though, but if you can just get past 30 days, then it will most likely get a whole lot easier for you. Another nasty thing that often happens a few days after you quit an addiction is that your dopamine levels that were already low to begin with drops even further. Yes, and by the time the second week rolls around, this can really hit you hard. A lot of guys experience a complete lack of drive and everything seems just gray and boring here. They often feel like there's a black hole in their chest. This black hole is something that I struggled a lot with myself back when I was relapsing. Yeah, I used to call it the void and it just felt horrible. You couldn't really find anything enjoyable anywhere, and there were also this feeling that nothing really matters. Now, here's what you need to know about the void. Your instinct is going to be to try to fill that hole with low-value dopamine-driven things, like alcohol, junk food, cigarettes, adult sites, and all the instant gratification things you can think of. But you need to know the black hole cannot be filled with those. No matter how much instant gratification you keep shoveling into it, it doesn't get filled. It is like a bottomless pit. In fact, the nature of dopamine itself is that it wants more. You need to realize that the only things that can help a bit here are all those things you actually least feel like doing right then. Things like, for example, going for a run, going for a long walk in the nature, taking a cold shower, and after that meditating for 45 minutes. Helping someone who is in need. That one is actually one of the best ones for your black hole. Having a deep conversation with a close friend. All those things that you least of all would like to do when the void is there. Keep going and keep moving forward, even if you don't feel like it. Just take it one day at a time, and before you know it, you'll start to notice how things are suddenly looking much brighter. And oh hey guys, speaking of rebooting and different timelines, if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you download my 90-day no PMO advice and tool guide while it's still available for free. Now this guide is not an online course or anything big like that, but it's an easy to read PDF file, almost like in bullet point form, with 13 bullet points for each week, as it takes 13 weeks to complete a 90-day challenge. It's a fun and very helpful reboot guide where I have taken into account what I have discovered about how it's normal to react during certain phases of your journey, and then implemented specific action steps that are best suited for you to do during those specific phases. From a psychological and neurobiological standpoint. For example, things that are typical to experience in the second week, and some things that are very normal to run into in the third week, and so on. And of course, I give you suggestions on what to do about it as well. So grab that guide right now while it's still available for free. You can see the guide on the screen right here. Just click on that and get it now. And oh hey guys, take a look at the video you can see on the screen right here if you want to discover how 4 different brain changes start taking place inside your brain if you become addicted to porn. Just take a look right now and you'll see exactly what I mean.